My name is Amanda Stewart, and I'm 35 years old. My husband, Joseph, is also 35. We've been married for 7 years now, and it's been 4 years since we started to want a baby. When we first got married, we agreed to have fun with each other first and then think about having children afterwards. What we didn't expect, after all that time, is that it'd be impossible for us to have a kid at all. I went to a clinic last year where I found out that there was something that had made me infertile. We tried to get some medical help, but nothing has worked at all. None of the medical help did anything but cost us money, making the relationship between Joseph and me rocky. My in-laws aren't helping the situation either. Anytime we go visit, they tell us how much they want to see their grandchild. I have nothing against them, as they're just excited about having a grandchild, but it adds so much weight to my shoulders knowing that because of my body, I can't grant them their wish. Hey Joseph.
What?
Would it be okay if we lessen the number of times we visit your parents? Or you can go alone and I'll just stay home.
No way that's happening. We always go together, so for you to stop going, it will look like our marriage isn't doing well.
It's just that every time we visit them, it hurts when they ask us about grandchildren.
They just want to be with their grandchild as they retire. Stop being so heartless and try thinking about their feelings for once.
Joseph buys some kind of gift and states that he wants to give this to his parents, so we should go visit them for the weekend. This typically occurs once every 2 weeks. Sometimes we go every weekend. From anybody who doesn't know any better, it seems he cares deeply for his parents. But to me, who does know better, it's because he wants to hang out with his childhood friends. So he leaves me alone with his parents and goes out drinking, which leaves me with questions regarding grandchildren. I'd rather he just leave me alone at our home if he wants to go drinking with his friends. And he calls me the heartless one. I often imagine how much better I'd feel if I could just tell him that I don't want to go to his parents' place because of the stress it brings on me. I got a phone call from a close friend of mine one day. I was so excited. I answered the call with enthusiasm, only for her to respond in a serious tone. "I need to talk to you about something," she said to me. When I inquired her about what was wrong, she only responded with, "I don't want to tell you on the phone." So, we made plans to meet up soon after. I met her in college, where we took the same classes and were in the same club as me. We had the same taste in music, so we'd often go to concerts together. We've been close even after graduating. She's one of Joseph's friends, and it was thanks to her that I met him. A few days later, we met at the cafe that we used to hang out at when we were students. "Hey, Cher. Long time no see, Amanda." "It's been a while. When was the last time we met in person? Anyways, what are you gonna order?" I asked, handing me the menu. She orders an iced coffee, while I order an iced tea. We've been getting the same thing since college, and thinking it made me laugh a bit. When I mentioned it to Cher, she laughed along with me. "You put a lot of sugar in your tea, right?" "I don't put in that much," I defended, laughing even more. It felt like we were back in college. They say that even if you haven't seen each other in a while, best friends can still talk to each other like they met the day before. And it's true. Cher is my best friend. We talked about work, relationships, and mutual friends before getting to the main reason why we agreed to meet in the first place. "So, what did you want to talk to me about? Is there something wrong?" Yeah. Cher's face went from happy to gloomy in a matter of seconds. "It's about Joseph." "What's wrong?" I debated on telling you about this for a while now, and you'd probably not believe me when I say this, but nothing could have prepared me for what she was about to say. Joseph has been coming on to me rather strongly recently. "Wait, what are you talking about?" "You know how he goes out drinking with his friends a lot? Sometimes I join his group, and I do tell him to take it easy now that he's a married man, but he responds saying that he has a better time hanging out with us, especially me. At first, we all thought that he was just teasing me for being single for so long." After a slight pause, she continues, "Last month, when I was out, I ran into Joseph. He suggested that we eat dinner somewhere, which I agreed to because I thought it was just dinner, so it'd be safe. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if it was just dinner. Exactly. I figured that he just didn't want to complain about work and whatnot to you, so I could be the one to hear him out. But then he started drinking and then started to complain so much about you, especially about your, infertility. How could he? I'm still struggling with this and he's out there telling people? I know you've been wanting a baby for a while now, and I've been struggling for a bit. The idea that you were perhaps infertile was in the back of my mind, but I know how invasive it would be to ask you, so I decided not to mention it to you until you decided to tell me of your own will. I wanted, and I still do want to support whatever decision you decide to make. Yet, Joseph started saying how you hide the fact that you're infertile and continued to marry him, or how if he knew that you couldn't get pregnant, he never would have married you, considering you don't even work. I could only sit in silence as I listened to her speak. He pissed me off so much, but I decided to keep silent and go back home. He texted me later that night that he loved me instead and asked when we could meet next. He scared me a bit, so I blocked him, but he knows where I work and where I live. I was scared that something would happen to you, so I decided to talk to you about it after some thinking. Oh, well, Cher looked so distraught, but still bravely told me what happened while looking me in the eyes. I could easily tell that she wasn't lying about what had happened. It suddenly hit me that, because of my infertility, my husband went crazy and caused trouble for my best friend. Cher pulled herself together and continued talking. After some thinking, I'm probably going to move. Wait, move? Coincidentally enough, my job is offering me a position closer to the office in the city. Really? That's great news. You've been wanting to work there for ages. Yeah, the timing is perfect, so I figured I'd apply for the position and I got it. She looks so happy. I'm so proud of her for getting to finally achieve her dreams. Since me and Joseph are from the same neighborhood, I figured I should tell them about what happened. My parents of course know this, so if anything happens between you guys, they could help in my place. Also, I want to make it clear to everyone that I have no romantic feelings towards Joseph. You don't have to go through all that for me. There's no way I shouldn't. Your feelings are very important to me. I don't want to leave any stone unturned as I move in the city. Thanks for thinking that much about me. Afterward, we went to her parents' house and talked about my husband. She demanded that her parents no longer involve themselves with Joseph. Her parents took my side immediately and offered to help out in any way they could if something happened. Eventually, it was getting closer to the date for Cher to move away. She decided to get a new number as well and made sure that Joseph wouldn't find out about it. If I'm honest, any feelings I had for my husband have disappeared, not protecting me from the onslaught of questions about grandchildren, leaving me alone with the people who ask said questions, going around telling people about how I'm infertile, and completely seeing me as worthless due to it. Since we have no children to look after, I started to see no reason why we should continue to be together. Unfortunately for me, I can't request a divorce right now, or else this might cause some trouble for Cher as well. I'll wait until she moved to the city and is settled before filing for divorce. I'm not sure if it's because he can't get into contact with Cher, but Joseph has been acting a bit irritable and keeps checking his phone a lot. He started to take some annoyance out on me. Here's this month's bill from the clinic.
This is way too much. For someone who can't even give me a single child, you sure do cost a lot.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's your fault that we can't have a baby. As somebody who only makes $400 a month, you have no right to complain to me.
You were the one who told me not to work outside when we first got married.
Shut up. I said that with full intentions of having a child. You're just a fraud. Get out of here.
With that, he handed me the divorce papers. He had already signed his part of the papers. It sucked, but I can't deny that it is indeed my fault that we couldn't have a baby. Cher seems to have settled in the city, so I could safely leave our home without any potential issues occurring. We met up a couple of times afterward to discuss the details of our divorce, and now we have officially split. Joseph strongly pushed for him not to have to pay a single penny. He claimed that after paying the bills for my treatment, I shouldn't demand anything. If anything, according to him, I should be paying him back. Making only $400 a month and not getting any money was a bit rough. I make accessories from home and sell them at local market areas for a job. I didn't doubt my skills, but the sales weren't high enough due to location and lack of promotion. I couldn't go back to live with my parents since my older sister and her husband currently live there. I had to decide what I was going to do. I decided to tell Cher that I and Joseph have officially gotten divorced. I know it wasn't easy for you, but I'm still going to congratulate you on this. Thanks. Not weighing being asked about grandchildren from in-laws is so relieving. I see. What are you going to do for work? I don't think it would go well for me to apply for an office job, but my accessories aren't able to keep me stable. How about posting your creations on social media? I have an account, but I haven't touched it since I made one. Social media is the way to go. It'll reach people from all over the world. Around the world is an exaggeration, I think. It's not. Just try it out. I was pretty skeptical about it, but I listened to Cher's advice and started posting the accessories that I made on social media. A super famous influencer shared my account with her friends, and thanks to that, my business went up. It got to the point where I had to make an online store to allow others from afar to buy my accessories. From then on, my business was keeping me so busy, I couldn't even dwell on my recent divorce. After putting my all into my job, I managed to get to a point where my stuff was being stocked into high-brand parts of stores. In just half a year, my monthly salary went over $40,000, and I was able to move to the city and live in a nice apartment that I've always had my eyes on. Being able to live in a place like this had never even crossed my mind when I was married. As I started out into the night view of the city, I thought how strangely life had worked. After half a year of moving to the city, my ex-husband called me. Hello?
Amanda. Hey, it's been a while. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
That's great. I'm doing great as well.
Well, that's nice. If that's all, then I'm gonna hang up now.
That's cold. Are you still mad over the fact that I didn't give you any money when we got divorced? Are you doing okay out there?
I'm doing perfectly fine.
You're probably living in some shady part of town, working a horrible job, right?
What are you talking about? Joseph thinks that I'm living a miserable life after our divorce.
He was such a horrible wife who couldn't even give me a baby. But if you learned your lesson, you could always get back with me.
What?
Well, aren't you happy?
I've been hearing what has been going on with my ex-husband from our mutual friends. He went out telling his friends about how he got rejected to sleep with Cher as a joke, but that had backfired. Rumors were going around about how he was trying to come onto his ex-wife's friends, and that forced his wife to leave him. He's probably trying to prove that nothing of that sort happened, which is why he called me. Plus, he thinks I can't take care of myself, so he could probably take advantage of that. I considered hanging up the phone, but decided to tell him how I'm living first. Don't you know where I am now?
Some rundown buildings near the town, right?
Nope.
What?
I have a job in the city right now.
Are you taking something?
Nope. My accessories business is so successful. I live in a luxury apartment complex in the city.
Did you take any drugs recently? Because there is no way that happened.
It sounds like he's on the verge of going insane himself. I don't blame him, because I never thought I would be able to live here either. You don't have to believe me. By the way, I know what you were trying to do with Cher. You may have thought that you kicked me out, but I was waiting for Cher to settle in the city before I ended things with you. It helped that you did it first.
What are you saying?
You were supposed to be sending money because it's illegal for you not to. You're lucky I didn't sue you when I could have. I am perfectly capable of sustaining myself, so please, don't contact me anymore. Goodbye.
Wait.
Joseph wanted to say something else, but I decided to hang up. I don't know exactly what Joseph has been up to besides what our mutual friends tell me, but from what I've heard, he is pretty unhappy with the fact that the woman that he kicked out of his life is way more successful than he is. He's been taking it out on the others around him. Eventually, A person who has been working less than he had outranked him. He got very upset with them and quit his job. Nobody wants to be around him anymore, and he spends his time alone drinking from morning to night. As for me, my business has only gone up, and I'm preparing to start up my second company. The first one is more of a high brand kind of aesthetic, but this one is going to be a more affordable style.